Welcome back. So last week we touched on the wireframes, and just a quick recap. Serves as a visual blueprint, so we can see how the information's laid out. We can see how people navigate through, and we can see, how people get to where they want to. So what we do from here is we take this map, and now we start to apply this out to the rest of the website. So today what we're going to go through is this just going to be the home page, and this is going to be mocked up to the full final visual high fidelity. This is going to have all the images, the graphics, and the colors applied. And from here we can then decide, is this the right direction? So let's take a look at that now. So one of the key things I wanted to convey in this site is I've had a look at a few other racing clubs around Tasmania. Everything feels a little bit dated, a little bit lifeless, and not much energy. So what we're trying to do is we want to capture the energy that you feel when you go to a race meet, when you go to the cup. And now we want to take that excitement and that, that anticipation and all of that that's in the air. We need to somehow translate that into a very flat two-dimensional website. So how we're going to do that is we're going to do a few things. The first thing is we're going to bring in a lot of movement, like within this banner here. Now, this is not made to be distracting. This is, again, made to make it feel alive. One thing that you'll notice, and this might sort of open up a question around branding, is I've brought in this new title, like heading font. Now, this is most likely not in your brand guidelines. However, what I'm sort of thinking about with this is yes, we can still maintain our corporate branding, but for something like the website, let's break the edges a little bit, color a little bit outside the lines, because we are trying to get regular punters, regular people, everyday people into this, but not into a corporate branding guidelines, to get them into the event, to get them into the atmosphere, the energy. And that's what we're trying to convey, because this is a sales tool. It's a marketing tool. This is not an annual report. It pushes it, but I think it pushes it in a very good way. And I think it pushes in a way that is, it's vital. So some other things I brought into here. Few call to actions around here. I'm not going to go too much into the navigation. This is more about the style. Introduce this color. It's kind of like a pastel orange. This is to help lift and, stand above the blue and the white. So this just gives the eye and people a really clear indication that, hey, we're pulling something out. This information is important. So coming down here, this is the main part where people come in. The three main things to do: unlock a membership, inquire about hosting events, and then seeing what upcoming races there are. The reason why I've left this quite simple, in contrast to all that movement and images up here, that is just to make sure that we're not throwing so much information out there that we're overloading people at the same time. Here, there's just a more call to action about planning the visit. And this also brings in a video. I think this was from 2019. I found on the YouTube channel. And yeah, again, we're bringing back movement. Here's something down here, what others are saying. So this is a different way of doing a testimonial. I reckon we might clean this up and space it out a little bit more for the final website. But again, this is just to give you an example. And then this is just sign up for the newsletter. And we've got our footer down here where we can go to all the links and so on. So this is the style that I'm opting for. I think this is a really good one. I think it's very contemporary. It stands out and it communicates to people now. Yeah, I think it brings in the energy, and I think it speaks to audiences on how they communicate now. Now, this style will lend itself really well to going out into social media as well. Very professional, and I think it's very good. So that's it for now. So the next step is to look at this style and evaluate, is this properly representing the direction we want to go in? Is this bringing the amount of energy? Is this going to excite and entice and accurately represent what what an event is like? And then we'll build out the rest of the site and we'll just apply it from there. So thank you for your time, and we'll talk very soon.